What's up, everybody? Welcome to BeatJunkies.tv. Today we're going to give you an overview of our equipment. These are the standard tools that we use as DJs. These are essentially our instruments. So let's get started. What we have here is our traditional 2 turntable and DJ mixer setup. So let's break this down further. Let's start with our turntable. First things first, as with any other electronic instrument, we need to have power. Right here we have our on and off power switch. As you can see, it is now in the off mode. If we turn this switch about 45 degrees to the right, you see that the light comes on, indicating that we now have power and we can use our turntable. Just to the right of our on and off switch, we have our start-stop button. The start-stop button is what enables us to play and stop our record. If we push the start button, as you can see, the turntable starts playing. If we push it again, turntable stops. Moving on, we have our 33 and 45 RPM controls. Typically, most records, specifically 12-inch vinyl that you see here, are going to play at 33 revolutions per minute. However, we also do have the option of playing our records at 45 RPM. Traditionally, most 45 RPM records are going to be 7-inch records, which occupy about 60% of our platter. Moving on, we have our pitch control. Pitch control essentially enables us to speed up or slow down the record, making our fine adjustments when we're playing music or mixing. Right now, our setting is at 0. If we move our pitch slide to our left, we can play our music as slow as -8%. If we move our pitch slide all the way to our right, it enables us to play our music at +8%. So again, this is a really helpful tool when we're mixing and playing our music so that we can match beats, adjust our sounds, etc. Moving on to the vinyl section. It's very important that us DJs use what we call slip mats. Slip mats come in various forms of material, ranging from thick to thin. If we use a thicker slip mat, we're going to encounter more resistance between our vinyl and our turntable. If we use a thinner material, we're going to encounter less resistance, which will enable us to move and manipulate our record a lot faster. Again, there's no right or wrong way when choosing a slip mat. It's all about personal preference. Me personally, I like to use a thinner material so that I have less resistance, which is very helpful for various scratch techniques, as well as mixing. Moving back, we also have our tone arm, which connects directly to our head shell and our stylus. The tone arm, head shell, and stylus are what conduce our sound from record to mixer to our output. Lastly, on the turntable, we have our height, our weight, and our anti-skating settings. These settings basically work as a team, allowing us to find our sweet spot so that our records don't skip, and we basically can get maximum or optimum audio output at all times. Let's move on to the DJ mixer. This particular model mixer is a Range 62, very popular in the DJ community. It is a standard 2-channel DJ mixer. Over here on the left, we have channel 1, which corresponds directly with our left deck or our left turntable. Over here we have channel 2, which corresponds directly with our right deck or our right turntable. For each channel, we have an additional set of EQ, volume, and filter controls. Let's break that down. Here we have our low pass, which controls our bass. Here we have our mid-range, which controls some of our brighter instruments and our vocals. And lastly, we have our high-end equalizer, which again adds more emphasis to our brighter instruments as well as some of our vocals. Directly above the highs, we have our trim, which is essentially an additional gain control should we ever need to adjust the volume of our music. Lastly, we have our master output located at the top right corner of our mixer. Our master output ranges from 0 all the way up to 10. Standard default setting for any master output on a mixer is 12 o'clock, or essentially volume 5. As with our other volume controls, if we turn our master volume control to the right, the volume of our music will be louder. If we were to move it to the left, our music will be played at a lower volume. The master volume is important because it controls all of the output going from our mixer including both channels 1 and channel 2. We also have what are called filter controls. Filters are basically an extended effect that allow us to create either a low pass or a high pass of whatever sound is being played. If we turn our filter to the left, we will get a low pass effect, which highlights more of the low end or bass sounds in the music. Conversely, if we move it to the right, we will animate more of the highs, the brighter instruments, and vocals. Lastly, we have our crossfader. Our crossfader is the tool that allows us to move between channel 1 and channel 2. If we have our crossfader all the way to the left, we will only be able to hear channel 1. Conversely, if we move our crossfader all the way to the right, we will only be able to hear channel 2. If we have our crossfader anywhere in between those 2 points, we will be able to hear both channel 1 and channel 2 at the same time, which allows us to do things like mix records and scratch. There you have it. That's our basic equipment overview. Thanks for tuning in. See you back next time. Guys, for a review of everything we just covered, as well as some advanced bonus materials, click the link below. See you next time. Peace.